Welcome. It is almost showtime. We're going to get started right on time. So I just wanted to say welcome. My name is Cynthia. I'm from River City Yards in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I'm going to be your host today. Each time you come into the Fiberside Summer Crawl, you'll have a different host. And so you'll get to meet you're going to meet a lot of people who are behind Fiberside chats during this crawl. We're going to be visiting 4 shops today, and to keep us on time, I'm going to be monitoring the clock closely. If time permits, we will host a Q&A with the shops during their 15 minutes. But please use the chat to post questions. If you would like to follow up on anything that you see or hear today, please contact each shop directly. Contact information will be posted in the chat, and it's also available on our website, fibersidechats.com.
Sure. Oh yeah, and then that way I don't have to log in.
At the end of our hour, we'll take a little extra time to hand out some very special prizes to randomly draw names from all access pass holders. We appreciate the generosity of the lovely people and companies who've contributed to the prize packages. And this week, we'd like to acknowledge and give a warm thank you to Accessories Unlimited, Skacel, and Modern Daily Knitting. If you'd like to see the prizes that have been donated, please check out our playlist on the Fiberside Summer Crawl on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@Fiberside Summer Crawl. You can find it too just by Googling Summer Crawl on YouTube. All right, let's get started, everyone. We're going to begin our session today by introducing Carissa Browning and talking a bit about the Wonky Blocks blanket project. Try saying that fast 5 times. As the knit-along, crochet-along option for the crawl. Carissa Browning is a knit and crochet designer from Texas. You can find and enjoy more of Carissa's work on her website at carissanits.com or on Ravelry under her full name, Carissa Browning. At 1/4 we'll turn the spotlight over to Janet at String Theory Yarn Company. String Theory focuses on environmentally friendly and socially responsible yarn, supplies, and gifts. I've traveled to Janet's lovely shop in Glen Ellen, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Her website is stringtheorycompany.com. At the bottom of the hour, our spotlight goes to Laura at 3 Kittens Needle Arts. 3 Kittens has been a Minnesota institution for over 45 years, offering supplies, classes, finishing, and more for knitting, crochet, and needlepoint. You'll find 3 Kittens Needle Art in St. Paul, Minnesota, and online at 3, that's the number 3, kittensneedlearts.com. And at 1/4, we'll drop in on Amy from West 7th Wool, located in Fort Worth's Cultural District in North Texas, steps away from world-renowned art and science museums. West 7th Wool is a local yarn shop and dye studio that supports local fiber artists in creating their own handmade masterpieces. You'll find more information about this lovely shop on their website at west7thwool.com. I'm just going to ask if you can check that your mic is muted. Keep mics muted during the presentation so that background noise doesn't interfere with the recording. Thanks, everyone. Welcome to Carissa Browning. As you may already know, let me just find Carissa here. I'm going to add her to the spotlight. There we go. As you may already know, Carissa is the designer behind our Knit-Along and Crochet-Along project for this summer crawl. Carissa has also been a guest on the Fiberside chats, and you'll often find her in the audience during the chats too. Carissa has a reputation for being a great designer. Her patterns are well written and often come in both knit versions and crochet versions. And that's one of the reasons we asked her to design a special project just for this crawl. So Carissa, welcome. And maybe you could start off by telling us a little bit about the design inspiration for the Wonky Blocks blanket.
Absolutely. So hello, everybody. Like Cynthia said, I'm Carissa Browning, coming to you from my home studio in Dallas, Texas, where it is way too warm for wool, but that's okay. We shall persevere. So yeah, I really enjoyed the Fiberside Summer Crawl last year. So of course I was thrilled when Laura from For Pearls reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in designing a make-along project for this year. So I started to think about how I wanted to, what direction I wanted to take that. I wanted something approachable, something beginner friendly, something that would work in knit and also in crochet, of course, and something that would be sort of potato chip knitting or potato chip crochet, I suppose, something that you could pick up and put down easily. It'd be great for on your lap on a road trip during the summer or what have you. So immediately my mind went to modular projects. So I did some searching around the internet. I found lots of things that incorporated squares in different ways, and lots of things that involved diamonds in different ways. But I didn't find anything that mixed the two together, squares and diamonds. So I figured, well, then I'll do that. So I put them together in this sort of off-kilter grid, which I dubbed the Wonky Blocks blanket. So you can see some of them are squares and some are more oblong for diamonds. And the crochet version here, you will work all of your squares and all of your diamonds, or some, and then attach them and attach them as you go, as you like. The pattern does include instructions for how to crochet the square, how to crochet the diamond, and some of my favorite ways for how to join your squares and diamonds on the back side. All of those links to tutorials on my YouTube channel are included in the PDF of the pattern. The knit version looks strikingly similar. Again, we've got squares and diamonds, but this one is constructed a little bit differently. You'll start out by casting on for one column, work yourself a little square, and then add in some increases and decreases to slant and create a diamond on the bias here. Go back to working straight for a square, and you'll alternate for as long as you want your blanket to be. And when you get done with that full-length column, you'll come back, you'll cast on at the bottom of the second column, and you'll work your squares and diamonds up. But at the end of every other row, you're going to be incorporating one stitch from the first column so that you're joining your second column to your first column as you go. So that means no seaming at the end. And I've also included a tutorial in the pattern for how to weave in your ends as you go, as well as you knit. So don't worry about weaving in those ends for your knitted wonky blocks. As you can see with my little swatches here, I just used some leftover sock yarn from my big old bucket of sock yarn balls. But when it came time to make larger samples, I went with a more curated palette of pinks and teals. You can see I still made a fairly small sample here. This is just maybe a baby blanket, maybe not even that, a stroller blanket perhaps. So there's the crocheted version and the knit version.
Oh,
And I think what's so great about these patterns is that if I want to make this bigger, I can go back and just pull out the bind off row here, put those stitches back on my needle, and keep making squares and diamonds and make my blanket bigger if I want. Or again, with crochet, I can make more squares and diamonds and attach them afterward. So I'm kind of thinking of keeping one of these sort of crib size blankets as is and adding to the other one and make it more of a child size bed blanket. And then my 6-year-old niece can have a blanket and her American Girl doll can have a matching blanket. So don't tell her though, that's our little secret.
Carissa,
So, yeah.
I have to put in a plug for the video links that you put into both patterns. I watched your crochet tutorials, and every time I make a magic circle now, your voice is in my head telling me how to do it. So those video tutorials are fantastic. And I know that in some of your other designs, you've included video tutorials as well. So where, if somebody wants to see kind of some of that help that you give,
Mhm.
where would they go to find it if they don't happen to have a pattern in front of them?
So my YouTube channel, all the videos on it are open to the public. So there are links in the patterns if you purchase one of my patterns, but you can also just look at the videos, whenever if you like. I believe that would be youtube.com/@Carissa Knits to get to my YouTube channel. Absolutely. Thank you for asking.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah, the links to any sort of unusual techniques, I like to include those in all of my patterns. That's something I started doing a few years ago, and I think it's been very helpful to knitters and crocheters.
yeah.
I'd like to think so, at least.
Carissa, you have a lot of patterns on YouTube, or sorry, on Ravelry and also on your website, which is carissaknits.com.
Mhm.
Do you have a few favorites that you like?
I do. I've actually got several spread out on my table here that I pulled out ahead of time. So some of you may be thinking, Carissa Browning, where do I know that name? Well, I'll give you a hint. My first little brush with celebrity was a few years ago when my Wonder Woman shawl went a little bit viral, and that is a free pattern, and it is available in a knit version and a crochet version as well. Another favorite of mine are the Yip Yips from Sesame Street. So these great little hanging baskets. You can use them as like a plant basket, or one of mine holds plastic bags that I like to reuse, like produce bags and grocery store bags, or what have you. You can even use like sock yarn and make a little bitty one and put your stitch markers or paper clips or whatever you like in there. So those are super fun. And those are also a free pattern available in knit and crochet. And then another one that I'm really super proud of is the Descent Cowl. So this is the crocheted version, and this is the knit version. And these were inspired by Ruth Bader Ginsburg's collar that she wore whenever she dissented from a Supreme Court decision. And that's another pattern that went a little bit viral. When I first released the pattern years ago, both of them, I was donating 20% of the proceeds to the ACLU in RBG's memory. And when she passed, I bumped that up to 100% for a period of time after she passed. And that got shared over and over and over again. And off of two little $5 patterns, we raised over $40,000 in a little over a month. So yeah, that was overwhelming in the best possible way.
Wow, Carissa, that's amazing. Now, I see that you have a little board behind you with it says 20% off with code. Can you tell us about that?
Well, it is exactly what it looks like. It's 20% off with the code SUMMER20, and that discount code will work in either my Ravelry store or my PayHip store, which is payhip.com/CarissaKnits. And you can get 20% off all of my independently published designs. That code is good for all the way through the end of August. So you can watch all of the Fiberside Summer Crawl, collect a skein here and a skein there, and then go shopping for your patterns and get 20% off with the code SUMMER20.
That's perfect, Carissa. And having knit a few of your patterns, I just wanted to emphasize that that's a really good idea. If you've got a couple of skeins, especially of sock yarns that you've picked up over the summer crawl, and you're looking for a pattern, check out Carissa's shawls, because you can often do them with just two skeins of fingering weight yarn. And something special to do with that merino cashmere nylon that you've stashed away, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Carissa. I'm going to put in a couple of hashtags for people if you are working on wonky blocks this summer. We have some hashtags that if you use it on your social media posts, then that will allow us to share in your creations as you go along. Again, thank you, Carissa. We really appreciate your design. I just want to let people know if you're wondering what we're talking about, because you're not sure what this wonky blocks thing is about, it's a free pattern download that you received with your all access pass. And so we encourage you to pick up a skein of yarn on your visit today and start crocheting or knitting a wonky blocks blanket. And then each week as you tune in, come early and show us your progress. We'd love to see how it goes for you as we move along. And now I
Absolutely.
need to turn the spotlight and the microphone over to Janet from String Theory Yarn Company. Welcome, Janet. It's so good to have you here with us today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Janet Avila, and I'm the founder of String Theory Yarn Company. We are outside of Chicago and online at stringtheoryyarncompany.com. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be here. I've been here. We did this last year, and it was so much fun. So I was grateful to be invited back. So thank you, thank you. If you're in the audience and you've been to String Theory, I would love it if you would put something in the chat and say hi, tell me what you loved about the store, whatever. But I'm going to start off with a video that we had done a couple years ago that tells you the story behind String Theory. We kind of have a unique point of view, I would say. And so I'm going to do my best to share this video. Let's see. Okay. I'm Janet Avila, and I own String Theory Yarn Company in downtown Glen Ellen, Illinois. Before I started the store, I worked as an instructional designer for a worldwide accounting firm, and I got laid off from that job on September 10th, 2001. I was sitting at home trying to figure out what I was going to do next, and found out that my brother was actually in the Trade Center when the planes hit. So I sat home and cried. And knit and cried and knit some more. So as I was trying to figure out what to do next with my life, it occurred to me, this is really a good thing and more people should be doing this. So I talked it over, with a couple of friends, and they really helped me figure out how to start a business. And then to figure out, okay, if I'm going to do retail, how am I going to do this differently? And how am I going to do this so that it follows my values and what's important to me? (9/11) put us in touch with what other people live across the world. They're living in war zones. It really put me in touch with the suffering all around the world. And so I thought, it's time to draw a line in the sand and say, there's good stuff out there, and we need to focus on the good, and we need to bring more good into our communities. When I bring something into the store, I'm always looking for the story behind it, and who is this helping, and how is this making the world a better place? So whether it's environmentally friendly or a program that teaches sustainable farming to the farmers in the Patagonian grasslands in Argentina. We can tell you about the Women's Cooperative in Uruguay. They all have a reason for being in the store. So I had this idea to open a yarn store, and it needed a name. And so started thinking about that, and I didn't want anything too cute, something a little clever, I don't know. And I thought, I could name the store String Theory, because that really fits with my worldview, that everything is connected to everything else. So, in order to impact the women in Afghanistan who are spinning the yarn, or the women in Uruguay who are part of the cooperative, we have to have a strong community of knitters here in Glen Ellen. What I like best about the store is that it brings people together locally and that we can have an impact on the world. And I'm just happy that I get to do that. All right, so that's how I got started. That was in 2004 that I've opened the shop. So that was 19 years ago. And we have been able to continue with that earth-friendly, socially responsible vision. Things have changed a lot in the last 19 years, but we keep researching and searching, and it's not good enough that it's socially responsible or earth friendly. It also has to be wonderful to work with. And so we're always out there researching and trying to find new things and bring you new and exciting things. So I want to show you a couple of things. One of the yarns that we have currently that is both socially responsible and environmentally friendly is Handspun Hope. And this is the cotton because it's summer, so that's what we've got in stock. And these, the cotton is hand spun on drop spindles by women in Ethiopia and imported to the Handspun Hope group in Rwanda. And they ply it, and then they dye it with natural dyes. And Handspun Hope was started as a way to help the women who had survived, or women, not all of them, but women who had survived the genocide in Rwanda. And so these women are just incredible, incredible survivors. The stories that I've heard about these women, like most all of them have AIDS because that was used as a weapon against women. They were raped and contaminated on purpose. It goes on and on. The horrors that they have survived. And a while ago, Rwanda closed all their orphanages and said, "We can't raise the next generation of Rwandans in an orphanage." So they moved the kids out to their closest living relative. So some of these women are raising like 10 kids, and they could maybe afford to send a couple of kids to school because it's only maybe $75. But when you have 10, that's $750. So the women who work for Handspun Hope get salaries. They have consistent jobs. They worked all through the pandemic. And it's just a fabulous organization that I'm delighted to be partnering with. So we do have, I'm wearing this sweater. It's a cute little cardigan, Even Dune by Kate Davies. And this was made out of the cotton. And these are buttons from Handspun Hope that are carved by hand. And whenever I wear this sweater, people always ask me if it's silk. It just has this beautiful, beautiful handspun sort of texture and lovely, lovely yarn. So if you're interested, you can go on our website and check it out. And there's also on our website several different pattern suggestions. So if you're not wanting to make a sweater, we've got shawls, we've got all sorts of different things that you can choose from and see. Another thing that we do is we really try and work with hand dyers, especially new ones that are trying to get off the ground, and really try and help them make a business. And one of our most recent dyers that we've been working with is Naima Bond. She's a Chicago dyer. She dyes under the name of Sister Ananse. And we've been working with her for a while. But then when this summer, our art museum at the local community college is having a huge Andy Warhol exhibit. This is a big deal for a small little suburb like Glen Ellen. And so I asked Naima if she would do an Andy Warhol collection. And she was an art student at Oberlin and also at the Art Institute. She's a big Andy Warhol fan. It just blew our socks off. So I'm going to show you a couple of those. We have 4 different bases. So we have fingering, regular superwash, and zebra. And so this is an example of the same color in both. And this is called flowers. And it's after, you can look up Flowers by Andy Warhol and you can see the painting that was inspired. This is another one. This is the DK, and this is Truck. So love, love, love. And we have sold out of several of her colors, but we are restocking, and we should be fully restocked by July 30th, which is when our yarn crawl starts, our local yarn crawl. So we should be fully stocked by then. And I wanted to show you kind of how that zebra knits up, because people are always curious about that. This is the Crescent City shawl, and the link will be on the website. But this just took one skein of DK zebra. It's not one of the Warhol colors, but you can kind of see just how overall the color is. Beautiful. It's on an 11. This goes super fast, super fast. I designed, we have a yarn, Good Vibes Yarn Tour. We designed patterns for, and she did the yarn for that. And I designed this with 2 skeins. So you can see this is the zebra, and it's really much more subtle in the skein knit up than it is in the skein. Yeah, I thought I had another one over here, but I do have all sorts of pattern suggestions as well for the Sister Anansa yarn. And then if you are looking on our website, if you're shopping there, you want to take note that we're having our clearance sale. So there's a lot of good deals on there right now. And we have kind of expanded because our string theory community is very concerned about the environment, the world as it is. And so we kind of expanded beyond yarn and tools to include gifts and goods for the home. That are environmentally friendly. So if you're on our website, if you hit the tab at the top that says gifts, you're going to see a whole selection of things that we call like sustainable swaps. So there's unpaper towels there. There's wooden bead bracelets that you can have. There's great chocolate that gives back to a girls group. So be sure you treat yourself to something like that as well. And yeah, and I just wanted to let you know that everybody who's watching today gets a bonus, because this is the first episode of the Summer Yarn Crawl, and I wanted to reward everybody who actually got their ticket early and tuned in. And so you get $11 off whatever you order on our website. It's $11 coupon. You want to use the coupon code Fiberside, all one word in all caps, and that'll give you $11. The coupon expires tomorrow at midnight, or when I wake up on Wednesday morning, let's be honest. So treat yourself, go over, take a look, and certainly treat yourself to something fun. I hope to see you again, and welcome. I would love to welcome you to be part of our string theory community.
Thank you, Janet. That's very generous of you. And I think we might have time for just a couple of questions. I see in the chat that Helena was wondering if zebra is untreated or superwash.
The zebra is superwash as well. Yes, it is. I just wanted to make sure. It's pretty sure, but I thought, well, I better read it before I say. The zebra is much softer. I think maybe it's not as tightly spun as the other, but it is all superwash.
Right, and I see that Tracy has her hand up. I think Tracy, I will allow you to unmute and ask your question. Go ahead, Tracy.
Whoops. Sorry, it automatically muted me. I suppose any orders we do from these places seem to be in the United States, in Canada, we'll have to pay for shipment. Do you know, Cynthia?
Janet ships to Canada, Tracy. No problem. Yeah.
Okay.
I know from personal experience. Thank you, Tracy, for your question. Yeah.
Yeah, but you still pay for shipment.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's right. But use the code and you get $11 off, and that will subsidize your shipping a lot. So as long as you put your order in today, you can have $11 off on Janet's website. There was another question, Janet, in the chat from Jeannie. She's wondering, when is the yarn crawl in your area?
The yarn crawl starts on the 29th, whatever the Saturday is. And it goes for a whole week. So 2 weekends, and then the week in between. And it's, I think there's 20 different stores participating. So it's a great time if you're looking for, if you're local or you're looking for a trip. Either way.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Janet. That was lovely. Catherine is wondering if you could give the code again.
It's Fiberside, all in caps.
Perfect.
And I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you so much. And there may be some other questions, Janet, in the chat that you want to take a look at.
I'll go back through and look.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to move the spotlight over to Laura from Three Kittens Needle Arts. Hello and welcome, Laura.
There you go. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura from Three Kittens Needle Arts in Minnesota. It's a lovely, coolish day here today, and I'm sitting in front of a great bright window, so I hope you can see me all right. I have a video. I'm not going to show it of my store. I showed it last year, and we only have 15 minutes, so I'm just going to go right into the projects. So the first one I'm going to show you today is Le Marmite. It is a pattern by Lucinda Iglesias, who owns Montricot, which is a yarn shop in Quebec, Canada. And I made this for myself thinking that I would wear it with a bright pink coat that I have. And it has never come home with me. It's just been in the store. So, of course. But it's a really, really fun pattern, and I made mine super long. So you start on this project, you start at the center of this kind of square. Now I'm going to have to take it off again. So there you go. You do this center, and then you increase as you make the square larger and larger. And then you you do a little triangle here for the edge to square off the edges. And then you go back to the stitches that are live here, and you keep going for the long scarf. But I just think it's amazing and fun, and Lucinda did a great job on the pattern. So I've got a few colorways here. I've put these into kits. Barb has put a link in the chat of a PDF that has additional links in it to all of the things that I'm talking about today. So this is the La Marmite kit, and this is the colorway that I used. I used Barocco Ultra Wool DK and Barocco Tiramisu. So Lucinda originally wrote the pattern for a worsted weight. I didn't want my scarf quite that wide, so I used a DK weight and slightly smaller needles than she called for. That's all in the PDF as well. But this is the colorway that I use. But I found some other ones that I thought would be fabulous too. If you're more of a muted person, this would be very pretty. This one would be gorgeous. This almost goes with my sweater, doesn't it? Even though it's not the same yarn. This is a brown. It's coming off a little purple on my screen, but it's not. This colorway. And then I have just two more. I am a blue-green person, as you can probably tell from my sweater. And so I think this one's lovely. If I didn't have a bright pink coat, that would be great. And then finally, this one, which I think would be fabulous for all those people who love autumn colors. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can tell you about this pattern. But I'm just going to put it back on the mannequin. If I can reach it. There we go. So the next thing I'm going to show you is a crochet project, and it is this cowl. This cowl is called the Muirlands cowl, and we made it out of Earth Unique worsted, which is 100% extra fine superwash merino. It's 220 yards per skein. We needed 2 for this. This is their rainbow colorway, which I believe is color 4004. Unfortunately, we are out of stock of it, but we have lots of other colors, and it I'm trying to remember if the pattern is a free pattern or not. All of the patterns are linked in the PDF that Barb put in the comments. And here are the colors that we have available. So as you can see, we have lots and lots of options. But I wanted to make sure and give you crocheters out there a choice today, because a lot of things that we as yarn store owners do, a lot of them are knitted, but we love crochet here as well. So there's that one. I also wanted to tell you guys that we're having, we have a little special for you too. It's not on any of the products that I'm showing here, but Three Kittens has a lot of patterns on Ravelry. Some are designed by me, some by other people. Our most famous ones are Sam the Ram and Sue the Ewe, which I didn't even think to bring over to the table with me. But we're giving a 30% discount on all of our patterns on Ravelry through the 15th. The download code is on that PDF. It's FC Summer 2023. And you can look at all of those patterns and it will work on all of them. It's not just a single pattern, so as many as you would like. And hope you enjoyed that. Then the next thing I'm going to show you, and this is actually designed by Janet, who just did her presentation. This is the Held Together hat. And it was designed by Janet for one of their yarn crawls. And we just thought it was so cute here that we wanted to do it as well. So it is actually 2 yarns held together. The main yarn is Plied North Ave. So it's this one. Happens to be the same yarn I'm wearing, not in the same colorway, but so it is a woolen spun yarn, 2 plies that are dyed different colors, and then they're plied together to give you this really interesting yarn. It's a fingering weight yarn, but I would say it easily, I mean, I have it kind of over in our sport weight section because it seems a little heavier than fingering weight to me and could easily be knit up all the way to a DK weight. And then you have lace weight mohair that we held together with it for the hat. And then you can see a third color right here in the braid. This is a little Latvian braid. Janet gives a link to a great video for this. And it is a little bobbin of the Plied North Ave yarn to give that little pop of color. It's also used in the braided tassels on the top. So we put together a few colorways. We only have one of the colorway that the hat is made out of. If you like this colorway, get on the website and order this one right away. But we put together some other colorways that we thought would be pretty. And I'll just show them to you real quick. These are all named by the name of the big skein. So this is sauerkraut. This one is Tree Baltimore. This one is Poe. This is Cotties. I'm really drawn to this one. I'm not sure why, but this is Divine. This is Lake Trout, which is the same color as my sweater. And then finally, we have this one, which is called Light Tower. So those kits are all on the website. And thank you, Janet, for the pattern. I love it. And then the last thing I wanted to show you today is this little cowl. So this is the Fino Shadow Cowl, and it is made with a set of mini skeins from Manos del Uruguay. Manos is great. It was started as a cooperative for women living in Uruguay as a way for them to make some money in an environment where they didn't have a lot of job opportunities. So I do like the company for that reason. The cowl is very simple. It's just knits and purls. And this colorway is Three Kittens' exclusive colorway through the end of the year. I was able to work with monos earlier this year to pick these colors to go together. And again, did I say I'm a blue-green person? Because, look at this. Chartreuse has got to be my favorite color. So anything I pick is going to have chartreuse in it. It's just the way it is. The pattern is free on the Monos website, or you can get to it via Ravelry. Super simple. 70% extra fine merino wool, 30% silk. It's 490 yards. The patterns on the website, like I said, are free, and they have a ton of patterns for these little mini skein sets if you're not interested in doing the cowl. I will say the cowl was very fun and quick, and that's always a good thing. So, and I think that's all I've got. Maybe I should have shown the video at the beginning. I don't know.
That's okay, Laura. There are questions in the chat. So the first one that's been asked a couple of times is, tell us about what you're wearing.
Oh, sure.
What do you have on?
Yeah, this is called Tan Tan. It's by Yamagara. It is a short sleeve t-shirt. I don't know if I can stand up in this space but it's got the little design at the bottom as well and at the top. I'm not sure what else I can tell you about it. I will put a link after I'm done in the comments for this sweater. So
that's perfect. And let's just see here. Jeannie's asking if you can show the golden set you held up previously.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name.
Is this the one you're thinking of, or is so this was for the first La Marmite shawl. This is the golden set for the hat. It is called Cotties. This one did not have a name, and the hat is called Held Together.
How do you spell Cotties?
Coddies. All of the yarns for Plaid are named after places in Baltimore because that's where Plaid is dyed. So, and if you've never taken a class with Ann Weaver, Janet will agree with us. She is a fabulous teacher, and as well as a designer and dyer. So if you ever get a chance to take a class with her, please do.
Perfect. Laura, there's also a question from Debbie. She's asking, could you sub a Surrey silk in place of the mohair?
Absolutely. There's no reason you couldn't. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. As long as it's lace weight, it should be fine.
And then I hate to ask you to do it again, but for those in the audience who are visually impaired, could you show us those combinations of 3 yarns again and just put a little like color description on the main color for us? They're so beautiful.
Oh, sure.
One's for the hat.
This is Divine. It is red, and the lace is slightly pink, and the contrast bobbin is cream colored.
Perfect.
This one's Cotties that I showed before. It's a yellow and orange mix, primarily orange, with a yellow lace weight and a yellow and brown contrast. This one is Sauerkraut. It is a chartreuse or almost limey green with a yellow lace weight and a blue purple contrast. The hat itself, that one was Tree Baltimore, which is a green, blue, black combination, and a kind of teal colored lace weight and a yellow and blue contrast. This one is Poe, as an Edgar Allan, I assume. It's a black and purple main color with a gray and cream contrast and a pinkish, lavenderish lace weight. This is Lake Trout, which is a blue rag kind of colorway. Sorry. And the contrast is kind of purple and white, and the lace weight is light gray. And the last one is Light Tower. It is a blue, dark gray, cream main color, a aqua kind of lace weight, and a brown blue black contrast, I think. So there you go.
Perfect. And Laura, I just have to say that basket of yarns that you showed from Earth,
Yeah.
that was gorgeous. I think those would make great wonky blocks as well.
Well, yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Wouldn't that be great?
No, the other thing I didn't say about Earth, because I think I say this all the time whenever I do a Zoom kind of presentation with Earth in it, is that we hire women from Turkey who are primarily Muslim, and they're not allowed to work, but they're able to knit because that's not work. So, that's a great thing about this company too. They also plant a tree for every skein sold in Africa. So
That's perfect.
Well,
Thank
good.
you so much, Laura. That was really great. I will let you have a look at the chat in case I've missed anything. But thank you so much.
That's it.
We're,
Thank you.
we're going to move over to Amy at West 7th Wool. I'm going to find the spotlight here for Amy. Welcome, Amy. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking at today.
Hi there, this is Amy from West 7th Wool in Fort Worth, Texas. Thanks for the little blurb on there. So yeah, we are located just on the northern edge of the city's cultural district, just west of downtown. We opened in 2016. Our shop is arranged by yarn weight, lots of different brands that you'd expect to see, Malabrigo, Earth, Cascade, Primrose, Malintosh, just the whole range. And then in 2020, being a brick and mortar retail store got really hard. So we wanted to keep all of our employees. So we opened up a dye studio. And we all learned how to dye yarn. And it was just about a mile away down the street. Oh, thanks, Carissa. And so that was that. And then this January, the space next to us became open. So if you haven't been here since then, we knocked down a wall and expanded. So this is a mom and pop shop. I'm Mom. That's my mini me. And we're about to go meet Pop in the dye studio that we were able to move over into the same location. So come with me. This is all of the yarn that we dye ourselves. So this is all West 7th Wool yarn. Our seating area is back. And there is fresh yarn baked daily. So let's go see where the magic happens. This is where all the dye is. There's our washout. Back here, we've got all the burners, the ovens. There's the pop of the mom and pop shop. This is Hunter.
Hello.
This is racks of yarn to be dyed. These are racks of yarn that have just been dyed. That's our color library right there in the back. So all of those colors are repeatable. And Hunter is dyeing something today. What do you have in the pan?
Yeah, I was doing a trial on a new color, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. But if y'all want to take a look, I can show you. It's got about 5 minutes left.
Nice. Got a little neutral with speckles.
Yes.
So there it is. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, guys. Everybody who's been here before, thank you. If you haven't, I'm about to tell you what we're working on. So this is our second annual summer tea party. So I'm wearing one of our summer teas. This is a knitted. So a lot of you I see in the chat are from Texas. So you know it's, I think, 1,000,000 degrees right now. Or 100, either one. It feels like 1,000,000. So this is the Uptown Tea by Tori Yu. I knit it in our Hunter sock. This is the Naked Velvet color. It would be fantastic in this petal color, or even fun in this Raspberry Lemonade color. So it's really nice. It's got air conditioning on the sleeves. It's just a simple raglan, but it's got a nice, really fun detail there on the sleeves. And then I'm not sure if you've heard, but crochet is really hot right now. So my second summer tea, and the summer's not over, so I'm not finished, is the Scrappy Granny by Emily Marie Davies. So I'm about halfway finished with it. I've gotten through the sleeve separation, but it's been really fun. I'm using one of our just white sheepy color in Hunter sock and one of these watercolor sock by Lanes du Nord. I'm using color 100, but we have a few other really nice gradient colors. And a tip for working with this on a cone is if you set it on the floor next to you, it will come off the cone much easier than if it's in your knitting bag on the side. I learned that the hard way. So there you go. A tip from me to you. So that's what we've got going on in the summer. Then usually around September, I start thinking about what I want to wear in the winter. And I've been watching a lot of Masterpiece Theater, specifically the All Creatures Great and Small, and which takes place in England in the 1930s. And they're all wearing these amazing sweaters and vests. This happens to be the Willipund by Gundren Johnston, who has been a guest on Fiberside Chats before. She's a second generation Falkland Islands knitwear designer. So this is in her book, but it's also available on Ravelry. So it is knit in our West 7th non-superwash. So this is untreated, fingering weight, super fine, which is 19 micron wool. So it's very soft. Fantastic for color work. Here's a little color work sample, but as it's not superwash, it will felt. So don't put it in the washer and dryer. It will felt, but that's what you want in a non-superwash. You want that grippy stuff. So we have that in fingering and DK. The burgundy color I held up is called Velvet, and it is delicious. It is. Another thing I like to do for winter are gifts. This is a really quick one. It's called the Binks hat. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I knit it in our West 7th wool tweed DK. Look at those fun specks of Donegal in there. We have that in a few different colorways. Here's a beautiful blue with specks, and it looks really nice on this pale pink with the specks. Next, we always have people wanting to do baby blankets. So we have a house pattern. It's a free pattern on our website called the Chevron Baby Blanket. This is knit in Cascades Sarasota, which is a cotton and acrylic. So I put this in my washing machine and I put it in my dryer. And then to block it, all I did was give it a pop like that when it came out of the dryer. So this is just 3 skeins of Sarasota. Just pick any 3 colors you want. We don't actually have kits made up online on this, but if you wanted to see some 3 colors together, you can email me and I'll put 3 colors together and email you back the colors together. How many minutes do I have? 7 minutes left. Okay, great. So that's a really fun gift. Another fun gift I like to do for Christmas are socks. So we have a new sock yarn called Echoes by Gusto Wool. It's 2 matching pairs of gradient. And Carissa got some a week and a half ago, I think. I don't know if you've already been using it yet, but it's really fun. And it comes in really cool colorways. This one just speaks to me for fall. And a thing about our website, when you go to pick the colors, use the drop-down box that has the color name or number to choose the color instead of clicking on the icon of the color. Sometimes these web companies do updates without consulting me. And they did that, and now the links don't work anymore. Somebody's on it, but I did write a disclaimer on the top of our website saying we're having a glitch. Use the drop-down box to choose the color instead of clicking on the color itself, and then the color will change, and you'll get the right color that you want. Special Texas colorways that we have if you wanted to add something to your wonky blocks from Texas. We've got a blue bonnet. These are available in DK weight. We've got a rodeo. We've got this in DK and fingering, and we've got a Trinity River, which is also available in DK and fingering. And I think I raced through that really fast. Do we have any? Oh, I do have a coupon code for you. It is Fiberside 15. It's good from today until July 22nd. So on our website, west7thwool.com, look for the Fiberside Chats logo, Fiberside Summer Crawl logo. There's a link to everything with patterns that I've talked about today, all of the patterns, all of the yarn. And there's also a menu called Fiberside Summer Chats on our shopping page too.
That's great, Amy. I assume the coupon's for 15% off?
15% off, yes.
Okay. And is there an expiry date on it?
The 22nd of July.
Okay. And what is the name of the beautiful color in the tee that you're wearing? It's like a gorgeous.
Yeah, this is called
pink.
Naked Velvet.
Right.
So it's actually our velvet color, which has brown and black and purple in it without the brown and black.
Oh. And how many skeins did you need for your shirt?
I only used about 1.5 for my, so it is a really lightweight raglan tee, and you can use as minimal yarn.
Perfect. Knit from the top down?
Top down, yeah.
Okay. Jeanette is asking, what is the shawl behind you?
I knew you would ask. I knew Jeanette would ask. It's called Lune by Natasha Hornsby. And that is in our West 7th Wool Hunter sock.
That's beautiful. Natasha's also been a guest on Fiberside Chats. So this is a mosaic design.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Jill wants to know, what's the name of the t-shirt pattern again?
This t-shirt is called Uptown Tea by Tori Yu.
Perfect. Is that YU? Tori Yu?
YU, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Dorothy wants to know, what was the yarn that you showed with the Binks hat?
That is our West 7th Wool Tweed DK.
Perfect. And Chantel asked, butterfly top I saw earlier.
Yeah, let's go over there. That is a crochet top, because we also love crochet. It is the Atlas Crop by Haley Bailey in fingering weight. And then you've just got some minis for the butterfly.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Perfect. I think you've answered all the questions. I'm just taking another look through the chat. Let me ask you, Amy, do you have a favorite color? We know Laura loves those blues. What about you? Are you a pink person?
Right now, my current favorite color is this spicy strawberry.
Ooh.
Which it's fantastic all on its own, but when you use it in color work, it really shines.
Oh, nice. So you're showing us a pair of colorwork socks with that orangey red and a cream together.
And these are the rhubarb and custard socks by Zanti Knits on Ravelry.
Perfect.
But this is currently my favorite color, just because it's so bright and fun and wild.
And what about your husband, the dyer? Does he have a favorite color?
Oh, I think his favorite color is this shamrock green. His
Perfect.
name is Hunter, so he likes everything Irish and green, and yeah.
Jill wants to know, what are the green socks behind you?
These are okay, and I'm not sure if I can say Zorgendorf stand by Ducati.
Are
She makes all these. If you search Ducati, I think it's like the motorcycle Ducati on Ravelry. You'll see all of her fun color work, and this, I think this is German for silly nonsense, is the translation.
Sounds like the German word for silly nonsense,
Yeah,
although it
yeah.
probably should be 3 syllables longer.
Yes, and you can here. I grabbed them from the wall. You can see it's got a little gnome on the heel.
Oh. All right, so Amy, we'll get you to put that in the chat afterwards if you can.
Sure.
Thank you so much. I thank you, Amy. Our time is up, so we just want to say thank you for your presentation today. It was really great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour that we've had today. I just want to make a couple of announcements here at the end. So I want to say thank you for attending the Fiberside Summer Crawl today. And thank you to all the presenters who shared your unique and special offerings with all of us. I'd like to ask those of you in the audience to consider using one of your reaction buttons if you'd like to show a little Zoom appreciation to all of our presenters. The contact information and the schedule for all the Fiberside Summer Crawl shops is on our website at fibersidechats.com. A follow-up email with a link to the recording will be emailed to all registrants within 48 hours. And if you need to leave, please feel free to do so now. But if you can, stay online while I tell you a little bit more next week and call out the names of this week's prize winners. Next week, we'll be welcoming Andy from Craftworks in Northborough, Massachusetts, Debbie from Dances with Wool in Midlothian, Virginia, Heather from Kid You Not in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania, and Holly from Bella Filati in Southern Pines, North Carolina. Those will be our upcoming shops in the next Fiberside Summer Crawl series on July 16th. And now, the announcement that you've been waiting for. I want to thank Andy from Craftworks for pulling together all the prizes donated from our friends and suppliers. Your prize package may be from one supplier or from a few. So please check out our reveal videos online to see all the lovely prize donations. If you see something that you think should be part of your local yarn shop's inventory, let your local yarn shop owner know about it. Today's lucky winners will be announced by Andy from Craftworks. So let me see if I can find Andy in the... Andy, can you put your hand up if you're here? And if not, okay, I'm going to go ahead and make the announcement. I just closed my little paper here. All right, so here we go. We've got 8 names. You don't have to be in the Zoom meeting to win. We will contact you afterwards and let you know what your prize is and how it's going to be sent to you. So the winners today are Brenda Bierman, that's Bierman, Emily Jackson, Jean Hunt, Alexis Nast, Nicole Barber, Anne Piercy, Sharon Imler, and Tracy Luva. Maybe it's Low. I'll put those in the chat just in case I've butchered anybody's names. All right, that's our presentation for today, everyone. I want to say thank you for coming and joining us today. I hope to see you again next week when Gail will be your host. I will turn off the recording here in just a second. I see there's some hands up. So if there are some further questions, you're welcome to ask them. But I'm just going to have everybody say unmute and say goodbye on your way out. And we'll see you next week, the same time, same place.
Bye.
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 Yeah,
Bye.
that was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.